Hello and welcome to the Code Maven channel. My name is Gabor Szabo, and in this video and this session, those people who are here, we are going to continue with Mark Gardner about working on this project that we started a while ago. We're on this course management application. So hi, Mark.
Hi.
There are two other videos, earlier videos, if someone wants to get the beginning of all this, but it's just working on a Perl Mojolicious based web application. So, and hi everyone who has joined us in the meeting. You can write in the chat questions, and we'll try to, or recommendations, whatever you have during with the project. Mark, you said that you just before we started the video, we said that you opened an issue and we had some discussions about it. Or you thought about some stuff that Joel Berger wrote. So let me share this part of the screen. Here is this. Okay, I'm just changing a little bit. So here is this is just the main page of the application, and I had a link here to the repository. Okay. But didn't we already moved the config to the helper?
No, it's just being stored in the stash, and we're doing all kinds of stuff in our template. You know, we're pulling. We're saying, you know, dereference this array, look into this hash, etc.
So we had this helper, which was this helper so we made this change.
Right, but all it's doing is just returning the.
It's a big hash.
It's just returning the config as a big hash.
Yeah,
I think maybe we should make it a little bit more granular.
Okay. I love to run my test before I do anything, just to make sure that I'm not breaking something. It's not that I'm not starting from a broken system.
Absolutely.
So how should I do it?
Okay. So let's take a look. Can you put up in a separate window or side by side or something the actual config?
Well, I never use split windows in Vim. Do you?
I don't use Vim. I use BBEdit.
Okay. So
I can never remember all the commands in Vim.
No, I don't remember anything. Whatever, I mean, sort of. I don't know. My hand remembers, but I don't. So I don't open the.
I know. I'm really. I'm a terrible hacker. I don't know Vim that well.
Oh, so Muhammad is here and is going to help us now. So W split. Yeah, okay, and then I can control right. How do I move now? Okay, so control shift. I don't remember how do I move.
Control W.
Control W. It says Control W, Control W, Control W, and then arrow. So Control W and then arrow. I can move. Good.
Okay.
Okay, and now. It's always a good thing to learn these things. Thank you. So where is your configuration file?
It's in.
So this is the main file.
That's the main one. It's in courses config YAML.
This one.
Right.
And just how do I get rid of this window? I'll just close it, I think, right? If I quit, okay, I just quit it. Okay, so sorry for playing with this W split. Here we are. I'm just enjoying that I know how to open windows now and closing them.
Yay. Okay. All right. So I was thinking of making a couple different helpers for this, rather than just one big course config helper.
Okay.
And since they're going to be, they're going to be sharing the same course config hash ref. It's an array reference, isn't it? I don't know what it is.
This is a list of now, so it's an array reference. The whole thing is an array reference now, as it is right now.
Okay.
And then we have these hashes in there. So
okay, great. Okay, so let's make.
Sorry, I'm just trying to resize it so the bottom row won't be hidden.
Okay, so let's make a helper that we'll just call it courses, and that'll just return all the courses.
Okay, so we have this. So my screen is not that large to have this. Okay, so we have these courses now, the courses helper, and wait a second. That's just the list of the courses, because now that's what we have. So the course config is.
Yeah, we can. I'm saying it should just list the course names and the IDs. So it should return a hash where the keys are the IDs and the names are the values.
Okay, so shall I do it outside? Load the course config.
Well, we're already loading it into $course config there. That's the load file. So it's already loaded. We just have to walk.
Oh, it's here. Okay, sorry, right.
Right. So we just have to manipulate the hash ref, or sorry, the array ref we have in there.
No, you wanted the hash, right? You wanted the hash where the keys are
the IDs and the and then.
So we go over this course config thing, and then for
make a map. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Make a map, and then for each one we have the item, the current item, and we have the ID, and then the current item, and have the name you wanted, right?
Yep.
And I think I need. No, I don't need. Just
no,
this.
we're not. Just that. That's all you
Just
need.
it.
And we can make that a state variable inside the helper.
So why do we need the state? Because it's okay. Courses. And then it's a reference to it, right? That's how it should work.
No, I think we can. We'll just make it a regular array.
Oh, so we just move the whole thing.
Move the whole thing. Yeah, move the whole thing there. Make it a regular hash. So
I just move the thing here inside.
Yep, and
make it a hash.
Make it a hash. Yep.
Okay, and this is closing this one, and this is closing this one. Okay.
And that way, when we're listing the courses, we can just loop over. We can just loop over the results of that helper in our template.
Okay. Well,
and then what we're going to. Sorry, go ahead.
So I don't know how we have this thing that we are listing the courses, but I'm not sure how much we're going to have that for regular users, because they will just log in and only then they will see the list of courses that they have.
Right. So we're going to have to make an additional helper that says for a given student, list the courses that they're signed up for.
Okay.
Because you can pass parameters to helpers. The helpers are they're just functions.
Mm-hmm.
They get passed. The first parameter is always the controller, and the second parameter is whatever you happen to pass to it.
Okay. Let me just find this course config.
Maybe I can. Let me see if I can pull up the docs on this.
Yeah, if you tell me where to look for the docs, then. So this is how you're using it. So this is how you're using. So the first one is going to be so it's just a method call. It becomes actually a method call. So the name, the helper name, becomes a method call on the.
Yes. Yeah, it becomes a method call in the controller, but it also can be called very simply inside of the templates. That's where we're going to do most of our work.
Okay.
So let's make another helper. You might want to start splitting these things into multiple lines rather than being one big long line, because
this one. That's what you say?
Yeah, because it's too big for your screen.
Yeah. Well, it's just because I'm splitting. But yeah, okay.
Okay. So the next thing we want to do, let's make a helper that actually takes some parameters.
Okay. So I can copy this. What should be the other helper?
We'll call it student courses.
Okay.
Student underscore courses.
Shouldn't be. So can't we just make this one one that can accept a second parameter, and if it's not given, then it will give all of us?
Yeah, we could do that. Sure.
So maybe we get an optional parameter, student email, I guess, right?
Well, the first parameter is always going to be the controller, I think.
So it's
let me make sure I have that right. Documentation.
Well, if it's look at this. This is how we use it. So if it's a method call, really, then that's how this self will be passed, which is the controller.
So that's going to be the controller right there.
Yeah. So shall I call it self, or shall I call it controller, or?
Just do my C, because that's how we tend to abbreviate things in
C?
Mojolicious. Yeah, C for controller.
Okay.
Or we're using signatures. We can do that.
Mm-hmm. Let me just open this. Yeah, Mohammed also suggested actually that to use Tmux. It's funny because I use Tmux on my remote machines, but I never thought about using it locally because, well, I don't disconnect from it. And I don't use Windows really in this Tmux. And I forgot to do the spacing that I promised that I'm going to do. Maybe maybe this time I will remember. Okay, so just open this file because I wanted to see how the course management is called. Course config. So we are accessing it and we are calling it self here.
Right. Self is the controller.
If the controller, yeah. Okay. So you say that I should put these things actually. I keep forgetting it because I have never hardly used this. And that should work because we are in Mojolicious.
Yeah, and we're loading the signatures feature.
Ah, that means loading the signature feature. Okay. Okay, so now we have this. And then basically something like this. So if the student is, if there is a student email, then we, well,
if there's a student email, we're going to have to walk the config and find all the courses that student is signed up for.
So this one I'll create once.
Good idea.
This else would return the courses as it is. Courses. Okay. So if no student email was given, then we'll just return the whole thing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Well, that's how we started.
Yes.
And then this is where we go over the course config. So how do will I have access to the course config here?
Yeah, you do. It's the array ref. It's a global inside of the startup method.
So I can go over and then I need to filter first, right? So I go over the list of courses and then in each course I take the students, right?
Yeah.
In each course I take students, and
I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this in one big grep.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it's going to be readable if we can do that.
No.
So shall I just create a little list of emails we are going to return here?
Yeah, let's start with that.
So I go over the, for my, what is this course? In this course, the courses, and then from the course students, and I would like to know.
You would like to. Well,
any.
first we want to get out all of the emails, and yeah, and then we're going to do any on that.
Yeah. So we take the course students, which is an array, and then on this array, I say map it, get the email. Actually, I don't need the map here. I just.
So any email equals student email.
Yeah. Okay, so if this is true, then I push it on this list.
Well, no, see,
No, the courses, and it's not emails, it's courses.
right.
Okay.
But we already have a hash called courses, so this is going to be really confusing.
Yeah.
It's called student courses.
And what do I put there? The ID, the name, both?
Just the ID. And return student courses.
Okay.
This is going to be a little weird because it's going to be, depending upon how you call it, it's going to be either returning an array or a hash.
That's not really a good idea, I think. It's gonna be a little bit unexpected for you. I mean, you don't have to, when you're calling, you know how you are calling, so you know how to, so it's not like, still probably not a good idea. I don't know. Weird. So in the hash of courses, we have an ID name. So why don't we do also here? Why don't we return a hash? Exactly like earlier, ID name.
Okay, sure, we can do that. So
it's going to be a hash. And, well, it's the same hash. No, it's a different hash because this is a state variable.
Right, so maybe do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Course IDs, course name. Okay.
So this is the same hash, basically, same kind of hash.
Okay. Don't forget a semicolon at the end of that state line.
Yeah, the proof would shout at me, right?
Yes.
At least I didn't break anything.
No, we didn't.
Oh.
Okay. So now we have a courses helper that if you just call it, you get all the courses. And if you call it with an email address, you're going to get all the courses for that email address.
Right.
Right? Okay. Do you want to, do we have a use for that yet? Because we don't, we haven't yet finished the whole login thing where somebody's just listing.
Yeah, I mean, for now we have let me see what I have here. Morbo, and what was it, script. So we had I think we had a test on this page, on the main page, where we were checking if the list, it wasn't a really correct test because that won't exist, but we can replace the code now that creates this one.
Okay.
And maybe we need to get rid of the, so this is the controller, this is the main controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the welcome page. So this was in the template was actually apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Templates, course,
No, that's for listing the exercises. I think it's what's in templates by itself.
Sorry? Main. Welcome here. So here we went over the course ref and listed. So now we should go over, right?
Right. And now,
Let me create a different one here.
okay.
Just so we have both of them for now.
By the way, do you want to see a neat trick I learned? You can just proceed the if the line is just a line of Perl on there, like the 4 line there, you can just have the line begin with a percentage. You don't need the angle brackets.
Okay, so like this.
And yeah, get rid of the angle, the other percentage at the end.
This whole thing. So just a single starting.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. I'm not sure if well, let's give it a try.
Okay.
Reload that page. Take out those percentage there at the end. I just want to make sure that the percent doesn't have to be, yeah, there it goes. It works.
Yeah.
So it's a little cleaner.
Yes. So now we have this course ref, which has ID and name. So it's okay. It's just we don't go over this, but we should go over.
We should go over the helper.
The helper, and for that, well, for the keys of the helper, if to keep this one.
Right. So we'll just do keys space. And then what's the name of the helper? What was it called again?
Courses.
Courses. Okay, so keys courses.
Just courses?
Yep.
Nothing there? Okay.
I think except now it's going to be a hash.
Yeah. So we have, it's not a reference to hash, it's a hash. Right? Experimental keys on scalar is now forbidden. So it returns a scalar.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Let me just check what I did before.
So I can write dumper courses.
Oh, okay.
First of all, we are missing the any here. Okay, so that's also a problem.
Yeah, we have to do list util any.
I just wanted to remember this. Okay, so it's called this one. Use list util. For now, we don't need the unique. Okay, so, but I don't see what's there. Does it show? No.
That's before.
I saw that I need to print here. Probably.
No. I still think we're doing something wrong here.
Too few arguments for subroutine. Something. I don't. Okay, this is not what apparently I wanted.
No, we don't want to print. And didn't
we have this one. I can add this one.
There's a dumper. You don't need to use data dumper. Joel told us that.
Yeah, okay.
So let's go back there and change that out. Get rid of use data dumper.
Okay.
And just do $sign equals lowercase dumper.
Okay. Okay, let me get rid of this one. Okay, so this works now with the lowercase dumper. Okay, but when I add this and I want courses, so if I call, it's strange to me now that, so this is, it says too few arguments. Shouldn't we pass at least the controller here somehow?
No, it's supposed to get that. I thought it was supposed to get that automatically. Helper's method. No, it's
yeah, does this the definition mean that we have to supply 2 parameters? Is conditional, or I don't have to supply?
No, you don't have to. It just takes
Accept.
it just accepts that.
So what if I give it?
Yeah, I don't think you need parens.
Yeah, but without this, it won't work. So see, so now what Gabor at CodeMaven, let's say, Gabor at codemaven.com. Okay, at okay, maybe
Finger quotes.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't want that one. I wanted to reload this one. Okay, so now it gets us this. It thinks it's a list, or it's not a.
Well, you just dumped it as a plain.
And you say if I put here this way, then no, this way, a hash, then it will be happier.
Yeah, then it'll be a hash ref.
Yeah, okay. But we can't use the thing that we thought that we can. So we have to, if we pass an empty string, then it will work. Okay. Let me just put here a horizontal row. But it will give, okay, so let's try other person.
It doesn't work if you
other per even. Sorry?
Oh, I was just asking.
Yeah, I think it doesn't work if you don't pass anything there. So now we can see that the first one is just this one, and the second one gives all of them. But if I don't pass the parameter, then that's when we get this error message.
Okay. All right. Then let's set a default for the in the signature. Let's do student email equals undef. Ta-da!
Much better. Okay. Okay.
I'm just a little, with this helper, I'm a little dissatisfied with the fact that we're doing we're basically doing a map twice. One with the state courses equals, and then the other time with that loop. I mean, it works. It's just not as clean, but we'll leave it for now.
Yeah, I think it's not that bad. I can get rid of these now, right?
Yeah, we can get rid of that.
And I can get rid of this because it's just the earlier version.
Right.
And we don't, oh. No, I didn't implement it yet.
No, we didn't. We didn't put it in the
Okay.
in
So
the actual list.
this is the courses,
Mhm.
and this will return the hash, and here it was the list of.
Well, we want keys. We want to do keys.
Keys. Yeah, but we have to put this one, right?
No, because that's going to be a hash ref then. We don't want that.
Oh, right. Sorry. It was okay.
But now we've got course ref. Course ref is just going to be a scalar now. It's not a reference. Let's put a line before that 4. And say my courses equals courses. My percent courses equals courses. And then we'll do keys percent courses.
By the way, I just thought that this is like maybe the only place where you would use each, or I would use each.
Yeah, if you want to use each.
I never use each, almost never. Partially because you won't be able to sort if you wanted to sort here.
Yeah.
So it's probably better for me to the courses, and then we go over the key of the courses. Keys, and then it's the course ID, and then we have the course ID here, and here we'll have the course ID, and here we're going to have the courses and course ID, but it's not
and get rid of that arrow.
Yeah, you don't need the arrow. And if I reload this, then yeah, so it's a different order now because it's a hash.
It's a hash. We don't know what order it'll come in.
Yeah. So
if you wanted to do a sort by keys,
let's do a sort by keys for now. Okay. And if I run now,
you've got two. You've got two lists now.
Yeah. And I wonder what does it do with two IDs, identical values?
It just grabs the first one.
Yeah. So what if I get rid of this? Yeah, it fails.
Failure.
That's a good thing that it fails when the list is not there. It makes me feel better than probably the test actually checks something.
Okay. Now we don't need to pass CC in the template anymore. So
unless just for this, but I can get rid of it, right?
Yeah, we can get rid of it.
So now, where is my template? Cool. No, that wasn't it.
We want to get the controller now.
Yeah.
Number 4.
4. That's what I did earlier, or that's how I thought I did, but I didn't probably. So
oops.
I have no idea what was that. I hope that's not something bad. Okay. So.
Okay. Now, we haven't yet done the login, so we don't really have a part that where we just generate a page just for the given student yet.
Yeah, I think we should finish that part, right?
Well, the next helper that I wanted was one that given a course ID would list all the exercises, and that would be used in the other template.
Okay, but let me commit this then. Okay.
Okay. If you're
So
cool
just-
with it.
Sorry?
If you're good with it.
Yeah. So something like this. Okay.
Okay.
By the way, I talked to Thomas Klausner, also known as DOMM. I asked him if he would like to do a pair programming session with me. And we arrived to the conclusion that what we are going to do is we are going to create a Docker container for this project, and we'll probably set up the CI, create the cpan file for it, for the requirements. So that's going to be interesting.
Sure, I'll tune in for that.
Okay. So glad that now several of my pair programming sessions are about this project, but with different aspects.
Yeah, well, this is still going to take a while to finish.
Yeah, he suggested, okay, we'll do something with Kubernetes, and okay. I think probably we don't need Kubernetes for this yet.
Not unless you're going to have a bunch of different containers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't even have a database yet. So you wanted to create another helper, right?
Yeah, I was thinking another helper to list the exercises. Given a course ID, list the exercises.
Okay, so Mohammed says that which sub said, I have a suggestion, we should create sub to generate code. It's messy in the middle of sub. What is sub? Which sub are you talking about? The one that we're looking at now?
I think maybe he's thinking the helpers in go back to the course management.pm.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe instead of having courses sub, we have a private sub and we just reference it.
I'm not sure what he means by generating dollar code here. Do we have dollar code somewhere?
No, I don't know what he's talking about.
No, sorry.
We're not generating code. It's just an anonymous sub. We can just as easily make that a named sub and then reference that. Oh, UUID.
UUID code. Where is the UUID code? Oh, that code. Okay, the UUID code. Okay, so it's program.
Oh, he says instead of doing all of that inside of the login, we should have a separate sub.
Oh, we actually talked about it in the previous video, I think, that you take this one at least and
yeah, make a separate sub that just generates the UUID.
Yeah. So, but we need it twice because we need it both here and here. Well, this is just logging.
Right. So, all right.
So,
Well,
we can do
make
this.
let's make sub underscore. We'll put it outside of login.
Yeah, I'll move it. Don't worry. That's funny because I always do this. I always if I like refactoring. So
okay, so instead of doing self app log info code, we'll just return code.
yeah, I also do this, get code, and then so return code.
Right, and
But
then
so it's gonna be part of this module, no? And then I can put here myself if I need it.
Well, you don't, but
and then the logging will be inside.
You want to do the logging every time you get a UUID, or do you want to do the logging inside the login? Inside the login.
I
method?
thought about. I don't know.
I would put the logging inside the login method.
Okay.
And just take that and just say my code equals get code.
Now I can move it out. Okay.
Is that better, Mohammed? Much better, he says.
Yeah. Okay. Git status, git diff, git add, git refactor out
UUID generation. Yeah.
Get code UUID generation as suggested by Muhammad S. Anwar. Right?
I don't think that's spelled right. It's MO.
Oh, so sorry. I've been writing his name forever now, and then I make it incorrectly. So someone posted on the previous video a question like, okay, you don't know who is Joel Berger, and it was removed then, I think. So I don't really know. And then sort of, I know who is Joel. I just didn't want to spell his name incorrectly. So
right, yeah.
So Mohammed, I'm okay now. Okay, I hope so.
Yeah,
he's being committed.
Yeah, Joel's a core Mojolicious guy.
Yeah. But regardless, I prefer, well, okay.
So we're kind of all over the place here.
Sorry, we are?
What did you want to go? What did you want to go to now? Did you want to do that helper I was suggesting, or what did you want to do? Okay, so let's go back to course management.pm. And we're going to make another helper.
Okay, for?
We're going to call this exercises.
And like the previous one, it will have two versions. One of these like old exercises. That doesn't make sense.
No, we don't. I don't think we're ever going to want to list like all the exercises in all the courses.
Yeah, it doesn't probably doesn't make sense. But we would like to have all the exercises of a single course, right? So we get
right.
Okay, so we get the.
Well, we get C first, and then course ID.
Okay. and then that's gonna be not that's not gonna be a state variable because it will be depend on the courses.
Right. That's
so
right.
We have to find a course because it's a list. So first we have to locate the course.
Right. So first thing we start with is course config. I thought we were going to do a map, but okay.
Okay, just don't tell me what to write. Okay, and then we'll see.
Okay, first let's do this right to left. So first thing we're going to do is $course_config. No, the @ shift 2. Not hash array.
Okay, sorry. Apparently, I'm a little tired now. Sorry.
I'm sorry. So array $, because course config is a reference.
Okay.
Okay, and then to the left of that, we're going to make.
We have like 3 sigils. I used one. You wanted the 2 others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so to the left of that, we're going to make a map. Okay, and so we'll do. Actually, it's not going to be a map. It's going to be a grep, isn't it? Sorry, make it a grep.
Okay.
So $ID equals course ID.
And then we can assign it here.
And then that just gives us the course. Now we have to get the exercises out of there. So that's going to be a.
Is it okay that I assign it to a variable, or you want to?
Yeah, it's fine. I would call it course ref because it's a reference.
Cool. I almost never use this. That's the Hungarian notation almost, right? No?
It's a little bit. Perl best practices says to do it.
Okay.
Do we want course ref in parens there?
Course ref, sorry?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's right, because grep will return a list.
Oh, yeah, so the parentheses. Yes. We need the parentheses.
Okay. So course ref, exercises.
Wait a second. What should happen if there is no such course ref? If you're given an incorrect, raise an exception.
Well, either raise an exception or return undef, whatever you want to do. I would say return undef, since we're going to be calling this inside of a template.
Okay.
So course ref arrow.
So this is
race
a course ref.
exercises.
Exercises, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then dereference that.
That's an array.
It's an array of hashes, yeah.
Yeah. So we return this thing, no?
Or
we
check if Mohammed is asking, we should check if course ID is defined.
Well, I can check definedness here, but doesn't matter.
No, he was saying about course ID.
The course ID here. We could. I mean, something is. It's got. I mean, unless the caller explicitly passes undef there, it will be defined, because we saw that otherwise.
We're always going to be calling this helper with a course ID.
Yeah.
Okay, Mohammed says fine. Okay.
I don't understand the question from Joshua.
Oh, he wants to know if there's an example of
Capturable exception.
having a capturable exception.
Okay. Wow.
I don't think we're there yet. I don't know how to, I mean, I know how to throw exceptions and all, but I don't know what happens if you throw an exception inside of a template.
I guess it says, we can try, but later.
Okay. So in the meantime,
wait a second. So once you find it, Joshua, please then tell us, okay?
So let's where it has course ref exercises, that last line there.
Yeah.
Let's turn that into a map. Let's have that return a hash where the URL is the key and the title is the value.
So title. Okay. And we are returning this as it is.
Yeah. So now let's go to the exercises template page and call it that way.
I guess this is it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, this is what we get here. Okay, so let's take the other one. Here we have two. And the dumper. Okay, and we don't. Okay, well, we might get rid of the dumper later on. And so I can copy paste this again, just so we have this. And then we have the, what was its name? Exercises. Okay, it works, the name. And here too, what we do, right? So we have this exercises equal to exercises, and then for exercise ID in keys. This, okay, here I was missing this one.
You want to make that a my exercises?
We can work on that.
Oh, we're not doing my exercises equals exercise. We're not listing all, it's exercises and then the course ID. We have to pass the course ID to the helper. So exercises space.
Oh, we don't need this. Course, and it has ID like this.
Yeah, I think we're gonna change how we're calling this. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it that way.
And exercise, it's, let's say, URL. Looks okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, we doubled the next exercises suddenly. Okay, now we can get rid of the first set. We can get rid of the dumping thingy. And we can run proof. And they didn't like us because
because
order.
it's doing an order, and we really shouldn't be dependent upon the order.
Well, the exercises are actually in order. So now I'm thinking about it might be not a good idea to have them convert them into a hash because they are actually in order. So you go through the exercises.
That's true. Okay, so we want to return an array of hashes then.
So here we have.
So let's just return at course ref exercises. Get rid of the map.
So we just returned an array and then
and then we'll just loop over the array.
Yeah, and each one has, there's no point in creating little the key will, no, okay, good.
We don't want to turn the array into a hash. We just want to do return the array. So just get rid of map and the braces there. Yes, just do that.
Okay. And so here now we have the exercise. So now we just go over the exercises as they are coming out from here.
Yeah, it's not going to be keys anymore.
And there's no keys. And each one is an exercise. And then the exercise has
we're going to dereference
back to where we were.
Yeah.
And the exercise. What
name.
was this name, title? Name?
Title. Sorry, title.
Okay.
And we don't need that.
This one.
Yeah, I think that's right. Let's give that a try.
It didn't like me. Global symbols exercises requires exercises. Because it's not this one. Exercise.
Oh, you misspelled it. Oh, we had the same problem where it's we have to pass the course.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Course
ID. There.
Okay.
And let's make sure the proof works.
Proof is happy. Okay. Good. What did we do? Git status, git diff. Created a helper for the exercises.
Let's get rid of that commented out return.
Okay. Good point. Okay. Git add, git create helper to return the list of exercises of the current course. Okay.
Okay, so we've rearranged a bunch of things. We haven't really done anything in terms of adding new features yet, though.
Removing code is important.
Okay.
We actually didn't remove code. We added, but yeah.
We rearranged it. But the entire point of this was so that our templates don't have to know the entire structure of our config. If we wanted to replace that config with database queries or something like that, we could do that in the helpers and the templates don't need to know about it.
Yeah. Good point.
Okay. Did we want to go back to the whole login flow with the emails?
I think so, because then all kind of pages really depend. So there's nothing really to do here without a login.
Right.
Right. So it's better that we already have the login, and then we have a user, and then all the pages will depend on that user.
Right.
Can we make single return to the helper method? I'm not sure.
Sorry?
I understand. I don't understand the question. Can we make single? Still don't understand.
Oh, the question in the chat.
Yeah.
Can we make single return to the helper method exercises? So he's talking
So
about
just
the
instead of having 2 return calls.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, sure. How about
these are the two cases. If there's no if the
how about do my course ref equals grep or return? Do an or return at the end of the grep. Would that satisfy you, Mohammed? Would that work?
what? Or return here?
Yeah, does that work?
I don't know if it works, but I wouldn't understand what that does.
So
if I was reading it.
Basically, if grep doesn't.
Yeah. I mean,
if
I understand.
Yeah.
Now I understand the intent, but if I was reading it later on, I would freak out of this.
Yeah, that doesn't really change anything. I think Mohammed, what's the problem with having more than one return statement? Because I'm fine with that. I often do that. I like to, if a condition if a condition comes up that we're able to return early, I just do that. I have another return statement early on.
It would look much better if we had a lot more code here between the two. It would sort of make more sense, but for me it's the sort of the same.
I mean, if you want to, we could make this a ternary operator, like return course ref.
Yeah, I understand, but I think it's cleaner this way. Simple statements.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
but I can understand at 6 p.m. as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, after day work.
This passes the late night Gabor test.
Yeah, thank you. Which is 6 p.m. in my age, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, this isn't Pascal where we have to have a single return at the very end.
Okay. I can satisfy what Muhammad wants. I can just remove this return, right?
That's worse.
That would still work, but I think that's not what he wanted.
That's worse.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. Just you mentioned Pascal, so I said, okay, but in Perl I can do this.
Right. No, I think this is fine.
Okay, let's go.
I'm sorry, Mohammed.
With the login.
Okay.
So where were we with the login? There was some test, right?
Did we?
We had some test login. We just have to continue with the test. So now we have the I think if I run the test, if I find it in verbose mode, then we even get the code here.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think what we need is to save the, my nickname in high school was Pascal, because as I wrote, I mean, I don't know what but I came up and started to write Pascal code. And so my nickname was Pascal, one of my nicknames, whatever.
Yeah, I haven't done Pascal since high school either.
Yeah. So we need to store this somewhere in a database or whatever, doesn't really matter, right? And then the user comes back with this code to some URL, and that will
and that logs them in.
Logs them in, logs the user in, right? So basically, this is the test. This is the test, right? So we mock the email sending part. Okay, for now we don't need to really generate any email, and then we can go now, continue, and just keep writing this test case. We can visit the HTTP something code and $code. We have it. Where do we have the code? Send code. It's called send code. Okay, so we do something like this, and then then we somehow check that we are logged in. Check, and then I don't know, visit HTTP something again to see we are logged in. Okay, so there must be some page that only then we can see.
Okay.
Okay, let me try this. So we do this here. I just keep writing until you tell me something else. Okay.
Okay.
Get okay. Okay, I don't know what will happen here.
All right, so we have to. Are we going to be making a new controller for verify? Is that how this is going to work?
I don't know. It doesn't have to be verify. I just try to mock up some thoughts on where the user will going to need to go. If you have that better idea, we can also have it login / something. If it helps, we already have a route called login, but it's a post.
Right. So maybe do a get on there.
Like this. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so do we want to let's make a route for that.
Okay, so it's a lib. No, it's in here, right?
Yeah.
So we need a get and code main login get. Is it okay?
Sure.
Okay, so sub login get self That's with param, right?
Yes.
Did I put there code? I called it code. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now, well, okay. So
now we have it to have a database.
Yeah. Well, we can use a file, a plain file based. So we just have a JSON file. For me, it's fine for now. Definitely, you can have it's fast, okay, and then we can replace it later on with whatever an SQLite database is totally fine. I don't think that this application is going to be used by a lot of people at the same time. And if it is done, then it has to be improved. So we have the code. So here it is, the save code to the DB.
Mm-hmm. By the way, while we're here, did we want, instead of getting the whole course config and walking through it in the login method, did we want to use our helpers for that instead?
We can.
Or would that just be more busy work?
I don't know. I don't know what would be the right thing in Mojolicious terms. I mean, I would call the backend database, but if we have a helper for listing all the users and basically the helpers are sort of the front for the database, whatever database we are talking about, or configuration file in this case, actually. I mean, for now, let's leave it there. Let's continue with this, that we have a JSON file called db.json.
Okay.
Let's say.
So let's bring in our JSON loading and parsing code.
You remember where it is? Oh, it's YAML was here. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have. Yeah, we don't have any JSON here yet.
Okay, we can also use YAML. That doesn't matter. We already have YAML.
Okay.
Load file, save file. Okay, so we need this here. We put here DOMM file, I think it's called, right?
Let me see.
Yeah, DOMM file, file path list. Okay.
Yep, dump file and load file.
Okay. So do we get the path? Do we get the path to this database here in the controller, or do we? Should it come from the main, the management? Should we determine the access to the database? Let's call it that way.
Well, this is just used for logins. Is that right? It's just going to what's going to be the structure of it? Is it just going to be
I don't know. That's why I also don't start to think about real database. I mean, later, okay, so later on we'll have a real database where we or a more. Okay, so for now, for login, it's a simple thing of these codes. But later on, we'll also have to save whatever the fact that someone submitted an exercise, I approved the exercise. So all this information is going to be in a database.
Okay. All right. Well, right now we just want to have a YAML file with a list of valid codes. Is that it?
Yeah, so probably you have an email, the valid code, and some timestamp. So we'll be able to limit how long this code is acceptable.
Okay. So, let's start by when they do the login, have it dump out the YAML file there.
Okay, but we need these lines, right?
I think we already have course config in the login. We are going to need.
No, I mean in the home part.
Yeah, we are going to need home. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted the home child part from here, not the course
Okay.
config. So home, and then home child, and this would be, I don't know, login YAML.
Well, did we want to pull that from the application config file, just like we pulled the course config from the application config file?
Well,
I think so.
Probably, yes. Probably it would be a good idea to have that somewhere stored.
So first thing we have to do is it's not going to be $conf. How do we get the config? Hold on. Yeah, so do, instead of $config there, do self app config.
And here I just assume that the file exists. So probably
Right.
should check if the file exists, right?
Yeah.
And this is the logins, which is going to be, let's say, a hash, right? And if -e file name, then logins equal to file name, right? And
yeah, put a parenthesis after the my file name line, after home child.
Yeah. Okay. So now here I can go and logins.
Well, if it doesn't find the file, that should be a fairly, I mean, what are we going to do?
No, and then here I dump the file. So.
Oh, okay.
So the first time the file won't exist. That's sort of my assumption.
Okay.
DOMM file name, logins. I think that's the story. And yes, if the two people at the same time access it, then it's trouble. But at this point, I don't care so much.
Okay.
So here we need to store the email, right? The ID and the timestamp.
Okay.
Probably the ID. So the ID is a unique, and that's what we're going to look up anyway. So right. So let's.
So we're gonna. So logins is going to be an array ref of hashes, an array of hashes, and we're going to push onto it.
I thought it's a hash. So the key is the ID, the code. Sorry.
Right, but we're going to have multiple entries. Oh, okay. All right. So you're going to have the key as the code. Okay.
Yeah. And then we can have the email, which is just email.
Yep.
And the timestamp, which can be just time.
Make that an arrow.
That would work better. Okay. We don't have this in the config file yet, so it's
no. We need to do that.
It's here, right?
Yep.
So it's
login underscore B,
and it's whatever.
Okay.
For now. Okay. So what if I type here my gabor@subgab.com? Invalid email, obviously.
We don't have that in your list.
And okay, no file yet.
Oh, you didn't press the button.
No. Like 30. Invalid path. What do you mean invalid path here?
What's in self-app config login DB?
How can we know it? It won't print it, will it? I'll have to print it out, right?
It says invalid path at home. Okay, so that doesn't help.
Where does it say?
In the debug line there, invalid path at.
Okay, so
is that not right? Oh, config is not a, sorry, get rid of, config is a function call. So it's config parentheses and then login DB is a string. No, give it config open parentheses quote login DB end quote. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, let's check to see if the file got created. Hey, there it is.
And I got an email. By total chance from somewhere else, I just got an email.
Oh, jeez. Well, you're popular.
No, it's actually I sent it to myself. This is some automatic thing that whatever. Okay.
Let's look in there. Let's see what
Looks okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now if we go and actually take this code, okay, and I visit the login page and paste this here.
Well, we haven't, it's not rendering anything yet. It's just going to
No.
sit there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's work on it. See who is faster, the timeout or
Jeez, okay.
we can code it faster. Okay. So we want to render something and then we are done, even if it's nothing happens there. Right.
Okay.
So self render. Do we want to render something there? What do we render there? List of courses or just a page saying thank you for logging in? And the list of courses.
Yeah, okay, list of courses. So we should pass, because we have a helper for this now. We should just pass it the email from the code. So we're going to have to read the email from the login DB file.
Too much for me. Let's just render a page, a simple page. Welcome.
Okay.
Inside.
Okay. Now we're going to have to make a template for that.
Template. We are in the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Login.
Yeah, this is going to be, well, this is login get.
Yeah.
I think eventually we're.
Yeah, sorry.
And we're going to be like redirecting to a list of courses, not just rendering a template.
Yeah, or I thought that like the majority of the people will only have one course, so they don't want to see like the list of courses here. They can just go and get the exercises.
All right. Well.
Or I don't know.
Okay.
So now this is just should just render this one, right? Okay. Reloaded the page. Now it's successful.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't do anything. So we need to load the file, right?
Yep. We need to do load file.
So we need all this code again.
Afraid so.
So probably I will say like my. So I need here the name of the file and the data. So at minimum, I would move this out. My file name equals to login file name. But I would probably also want to include this whole thing, not just the file name.
You want to get the whole list of logins out of there?
Yeah. I don't want to repeat this again and again.
Okay.
So login, I don't know, DB. And it needs to get self.
Yes, we need to have self.
And it will return. And we need the file name outside.
We do? I thought we were just returning. Oh, that's true.
For now, at least we need, maybe we'll make it be better, and the logins,
Okay.
right? So here I can call this one with file name and logins. It's pretty ugly, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, this should still work. And then I can call the same function again in this one.
Right.
And I can check now if logins the code. And okay, let's do this also. And logins code. What was it called?
Timestamp.
Timestamp is what, greater than time.
Well, it's always going to be greater than time because we always had it. We want it to be less than time plus an offset.
Less than? Greater than?
It's always going to be greater than the current time
No.
because they've already recorded the timestamp in the past.
Yeah, so that's why it's always going to be smaller than time. That's true all the time.
Right. It's going to be small. We want it to be smaller than time plus an offset, whatever the amount of time that we want this code to be valid for.
But that's always true. Doesn't matter what timeout is.
Right. And so timeout would just be a value in seconds. So it's less than time plus seconds.
But that's always true.
No, it's not. Oh, wait, hold on.
That's the place where I always spend hours.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, make it greater then. Sorry.
Okay, one of them. Doesn't matter, just one sign.
Okay, and it's timestamp, not timestamp.
Time, not timeout. It has timestamp and time out. Okay. Whatever. My timeout equal to 100 seconds. They get 100 seconds to do this. Okay.
You're cruel.
Maybe let's give them 1 minute. 1 hour.
Let's give them an hour.
Yeah, an hour to click on this link. Okay.
So that's 60 seconds times 60 minutes. Okay.
Okay, so if these both are good, then we actually want to remove this entry from the data. We want to have the session and we want to remove it from the database, this thing, right? So delete logins code and so how do we set the sessions up?
Well, I'm seeing a whole bunch of different Mojolicious. If I just do a search in CPAN for Mojolicious session, I'm seeing a bunch of different plugins.
Mm-hmm.
I see one called Mojo X session.
I thought I would, I mean, sort of, I would assume that Mojo knows how to do sessions by itself, no?
I don't think so.
I think so. Here. Mojolicious sessions.
Oh,
And even though the documentation says to use Mojolicious sessions, it's probably just arrow sessions.
maybe let's check the docs for that.
Here to say controller session. That's this it.
Yeah, let's look in controller.
Where do you look for it? Mojolicious controller.
Yeah, there's a session method inside of controller.
Yeah.
Persistent data storage for the next few requests. All session data gets serialized with Mojo JSON.
So theoretically, by the way, we could even use the session to store the code instead of our local database, which is now a file.
No, because that just lives for the next couple requests. It's not going to store it permanently.
Isn't
It's just a place to it's just a place to
cookies? It's in the
store.
cookies.
Yeah, it's in the
It lives as long as you as you set it to live.
Right,
I don't like this. I don't think that this the next few session requests. I don't think that's a good way of explaining it. I mean, I really hope that it's not just like, okay, waiting for three requests, but it's a real session. It's a cookie.
Right, it's a cookie that references some data storage.
I'm almost sure that the data is in the cookie.
Very probably.
Let's try this. Let's try this now. And then we'll see. So we have this $C session, and then we would like to give
it's
it
not well, we're calling it $self in here now.
Okay. Why do we do this? We copied it from somewhere and it started with this self, no?
Yeah, but I guess the docs haven't been updated, or the docs are inconsistent.
Okay, so self session, and then we give it expiration. We can give it, which would be this. This is the seconds from now, right? So we want 1 minute, 1 hour, a day, and let's say 100 days. Okay, they logged in, they are fine for now.
Okay.
Okay, we can also say expires time and time, so we can, but the expiration, but this is good. And then we also would like to set in the cookie session the email address of the person, which we get from
From the logins file.
Logins code, but we should do it before we delete it, right? It would be better to do this before this.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a closing pair.
Okay. And
here the render should be somehow know that it was successful or failure. Okay, so if we don't get a good code. So I guess I pass here some true or false.
yeah, sure. Pass it a
For
well, it needs to be key and value.
now. Okay. And then here, somewhere in the template,
Make spell success correctly
is it required?
up at the top there.
Okay. So you say, I can say if success, then login is successful, else bad login. Yeah. There is place for improvement.
Yep.
So what if let's say I just add another X here just to break it. Okay, undefined subroutine, login file name, code.
We didn't name it right. It's login DB.
Okay.
We called this we called the
Yeah.
sub login DB.
Login file name, login DB. Yeah, because it's changed its the way of working or whatever. Okay. Still doesn't like it. Too few arguments for subroutine. Login DB.
Oh, we didn't call it as a method. We called it as a function. You have to do self login DB.
Oh. Okay. That's good. Now I remove the X, and it's still bad login. Have we spent more than 5 minutes or how much? An hour. We gave it an hour.
I thought we did.
Yeah. Now we could be more fine-tuned if you wanted.
Check to make sure. Let's just be thorough. Make sure that the entry is still in the file. Yeah, it's still there. Okay. 9A1.
Yeah, that looks okay. Probably it would be also good, not just for the debugging, to tell the users that the code was invalid or the time passed. So let's do this. If not login, then and then instead of so it's going to be sucks. So
why don't we call it reason and give it a or message? Sure.
okay. invalid code, and I have to return, right?
Yes, it's a return.
Okay, and then if login no, but this is incorrect. So if the timestamp, it was incorrect after all the not we didn't know how to write it, and in the end we wrote it incorrectly. So code timed out. Right? If the timestamp that we had this, no. Now it is right. If the timestamp
The timestamp is always going to be less than.
Yeah. So what if the timestamp that we gave is
Maybe it would make more sense to put time plus timeout to the left of the comparison.
okay? If the current time, but it's not current time plus timeout. It needs
Or
to,
maybe put timestamp plus timeout.
Yeah, it should be this way, right? So if the current time is bigger than that, okay, and then now I can turn it around back. Okay, so if we set a time and we gave it a timeout, I also put it on the other side. Okay.
Fully in logic, it always gets
we gave it some timeout, and it's less than the current time, then it's timed out.
Okay.
Right. And
okay.
Otherwise, we are here, and the message is going to be nothing.
Okay, and let's put message in the template.
Yeah. So now if message, then login, bad login, okay, or failed login, and then we put the message here like this, or with dollar sign. I don't remember.
It's dollar message.
Okay, hopefully now more or less is okay. So login is successful now. So
good. Now let's change the code. Let's make sure that it gives the right message for a bad code.
Just a second. Let me see what happened here. So it also removed
it's gone.
from the file. Yeah.
So if we reloaded this, it would then say failed invalid or
invalid code. Now this also says failed login invalid code.
Because we already erased it.
Yeah. Okay, we can write tests for this, of course. It's going to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's almost 2 hours we have been doing this. So
okay, so we got 5 more minutes left.
Yeah. So okay, and then we probably have the cookie. How can we check it? So we can have a route that would return logged in or not logged in, based on if you have the session or not.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just create.
Like I said, I would think that if it's a successful login, we're going to redirect to that list exercises page, right?
Yes. So wait a second. What I can do is go and put on the main page for now, page 5, where we have the list of courses, the list of, oh, I can put this one. So how do we get the controller? Do we have the controller here, $C, or in the template?
You know, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work.
Okay, probably it won't, right?
Well, now we have to do a whole new.
Logged in, it says. Okay. What if I go and create a private window and it's not logged in?
Oh, let's look at your cookies.
I don't want to show all the cookies I have.
Oh, never mind. Okay, fine.
Okay, so I can try to see if I can. How can I? No, I don't. I have the cookies. Okay, so this one where we used it, it's logged in. When I try to switch over to a private window, it's not logged in. So seems like.
Okay, that's looking good so far then.
Okay, we can if you really want, in the remaining minute, we can create a logout link that will just remove the session.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, and then we can call it a day, so, or night, or whatever. So I go here, I have to create a GET request, which is called log out. It's called log out, and then here, not here, in the controller, I create a log out that, where was this thing? How does this?
Delete. There's a thing to delete the whole session.
Yeah, but how?
I just saw it when you.
I can see set expires.
So set
okay. Right, and then I do this, and then no, I wasn't copying it. Of course, it can look better later on.
Okay, now what happens when we go to the home page? There.
Yeah.
Looks good. Well, yeah, it's now it's functional. We have so what have we accomplished? We've got a thing that's takes the login code. Yeah, let's make sure our tests will pass. Yeah, all right.
Why do the tests run? No idea.
Because all we did was test that the login happened. We're not testing that you,
Oh, okay, because only the form, I only put the form behind this, not the listing of courses. Okay.
right.
Okay. Good.
Okay, well, I got a split.
Sorry?
I have to go.
Okay. So I'll commit this one. And then next week, same time, right?
Sounds good.
So thank you very much for being here, and thank you everyone who came and viewed, and please like the videos and follow the channel and whatnot. Okay.
Yeah, hope we're
Bye.
making progress for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you.